Meg at the moment, things have been going really well.
I don't even understand how fucking watch this.
We're both open. She should be open to getting to know new people as well. Yeah. Here we are.
Why are they laughing? Who you type? None of your business.
Initially, I'm going to be honest, hand on my heart, I always assumed that Megan, she maybe liked Dejon, but I didn't realize that she was that territorial over that man. That man is about to go through hell. Because when the guys were talking and they were saying that Megan looks like the type that will lose her crap once you meet someone or someone tries to explore you, I didn't take it seriously, but seeing her reaction to Malicia, oh my God, there's going to be fireworks. She's going to have a ball and chain around that man and be trailing him behind her wherever she goes. She's not going to let him out of her sight. On some occasions, you can think, oh, maybe it's because someone is afraid that, they'll be sent home. But this looks like real jealousy. And it's like, oh my God, I can't wait. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island UK, Season 12, Episode 5. So we catch up with the islanders at the fire pit, because obviously we're waiting for a decision on who is going home. Everyone has recoupled bar Shay and Blue. That was a bit messy though. The fact that they didn't allow Shay and what's his name? Oh my God. And Ramel to pick first doesn't make sense to me, because normally they are the ones that get to pick and then everybody else gets to pick afterwards. So I think production knew that, Shay didn't have a connection and they wanted to throw in this twist. So that's why they did that. Anyway, so you have this back and forth where Blue is trying to convince Shay that he deserves to stay because, he's known everyone the longest. And at the end of the day, he's still trying to find a connection. And it's like, buddy, you've been there. Yes, the longest. You've tried to explore a connection. You haven't found one. You've dismissed a lot of people because you said they're not your type. That's where you went wrong, because you were not open to getting to know people as a person. You should have been like Megan, who was open to getting to know Dejon, but immediately you shout down Alima. You then went, guns blazing for Shakira, knowing that Shakira had a queue going outside the door and she shut you down. So it is what it is. I love that when he said you wanted to explore a connection with Tony said you pulled that out of your backside. That's not true. And I'm cheering. I'm cheering because he tried it and it didn't work. And it was really sad because he realized as soon as Tony said that you're screwed. So they failed to reach an agreement. And then because they failed to reach an agreement, production then, I think this happened on Love Island USA when Buggy offered to go home and the girl to stay. And then they kept him in the hideaway with the Bombshells. So I don't know whether that's what they were aiming for or whether they were seriously going to dump the person. But anyway, they then turn around and, Blue had this smug look because I in my opinion, he assumed that since he's been in the villa the longest and since he's known the islanders the longest, they're going to vote for him. And sadly, things didn't pan out. He had annoyed and irritated a couple of people, and I think this is why they voted him out. So the islanders then decided that the couples, Blue and Shay decided that the couples needed to vote, and I loved the vote. So you had Tony and Connor, they went for Shay, because Tony's not open to exploring a connection with this man, so there's no point in saving him. Dejon and Megan, they said they've known Blue the longest, they're very close with him, so they saved him, I think, on a friendship basis. I think they were assuming that everybody else would save him. Ramel and Alima, Ramel said, I've known Shay the longest, because he came in with Shay, so I am going to vote to save Shay. And then you went to Tommy and Meg. Tommy and Meg voted to save Shay. There was no discussion. Ben and Shakira, they voted to save Blue, I think because of friendship vibes. And I think maybe because Shakira didn't want to look like the bad guy by dumping him. Harry and Helena voted to save Shay, which meant that Blue only got 2 votes, so he was dumped. And he was surprised. He was pleasantly surprised because I think he thought the OG crew would stick OG, and sadly that didn't work out. So the guys then went and helped him pack his bags, and it was really sad. You had the rest of the girls sitting by the fire pit all excited because now they're all in romantic couples, so they can't wait to go to bed. Blue left, he said, you know, I was a big character in the... No, we didn't get to see it, Blue. We didn't. Outside of you going and putting your tongue down Shakira's throat and then coming and bragging about it, there's nothing else that we saw about you. So it's not like you're a big character. I don't think any big characters have emerged as yet. There are one or two couples that you think, me likey. Dejon and Megan are at the top of my list at the moment. I don't think anyone else is at the top. I'm not sure about Romel and Alima just because of his 5-in-1. So it's not like you're a big character, you won't be missed. No one has really stuck out at the moment. We can't wait to see who will stick out. In the morning, you have the islanders wake up. Shay is still very grateful that people saved him because he would have assumed, everybody would have assumed that they would have saved an OG. But the fact that people voted to save him, he was grateful for that. And besides, before the guys went to bed, the guys that voted against him sort of explained themselves and why. You had Ben explain himself, you had Dejon explain himself, and he said no hard feelings. I don't hold that against you. I understand that, you know, you had to make a decision. We move on. So in the morning, there was this conversation that I didn't like once the girls had left the bedroom. Romel, I'm side-eyeing you. The audacity, why did you need to tell everybody the details of what happened? You were asked, how was your night? You should have said it was lovely, we cuddled, and it was really sweet. There was no need for you to tell the rest of the class that you and Alima dry-humped. That wasn't necessary. And for Ben, when he spoke about sharing a kiss with Shakira outside a challenge, Harry was touched by that. Yes, he's trying to put on a brave face and he's telling everyone that he's over Shakira, but I still feel like he was touched by that, and this is why he went to make breakfast for Helena. And for him to say in his confessional that this is the happiest he's been since he's been coupled up with Helena, no. Because every time you've gone back to Shakira. And for him to say to... You can tell he's talking from both sides of his mouth. Because during his little sit-down for breakfast with Helena, he told her, you know, I don't cuddle people, so you must be doing something wrong. And it's like, buddy, you were cuddling Shakira the night before you went to the hideaway. You actually rolled her out of your arms in order to go to the hideaway. So what do you mean that she's doing something special that's made you cuddle her? I don't get it. Just tell the truth. For once, I can't wait for movie night. We all have to save Harry until movie night. They need to play everything he's saying and doing. That way he's shown, you know, everybody gets to see what that he's been talking from both sides of his mouth. Harry wishes to be what Turbo was last season or in the All-Star season. This is who he aspires to be, and sadly he can never be Turbo. You have Connor and Tony go for a workout. I loved it. She was properly dressed. She said she's never really worked out. So I love that he went with her through the paces, and he was very patient and he took his time. And that was really the cutest thing ever. She was paying attention. The commentary from the daybeds was amazing. Alima and Megan, that's all they did. They were the commentary. It wasn't pervy, but it was cute that they were admiring and they were complimenting everything that they were saying. So I thought it was the sweetest thing ever, and I really liked it. You had Shay pull the other Meg for a chat. And personally, I feel like if she's not feeling him, then she needs to shut him down. I think she's using him as a way of getting at Tony. That's the impression that I get. Their conversation was very good, in my opinion, because he's trying to get to know her. So he's asking her the questions that will allow him to know who she is as a person. And so for her to say in her confessional that, oh, he hasn't made me laugh once, are you there to be a comedy show, or are you there to find the love of your life? Which is it? And also for Tommy to come and pull her, I didn't like that. That shows insecurity, because every time she sat down with Shay, he's intimidated, and so he has to go and pull her for a chat away from Shay. And it's like, if you in your couple were secure, if you were secure in your abilities to keep your girl, you wouldn't need to keep dragging her. She would be coming on her own, or she would shut it down with Shay, but she's not shutting it down because there's something lacking in you, regardless of the fact that you make her laugh. And then Dejon and Megan. Initially, when they coupled up, this is what I think. I think when he walked out, Megan was taken aback. and then she sort of was questioning whether he was going to jump ship and go to Alima. And surprisingly, they are actually getting along very well, and you can see that she's very content, because half the time, unless she's with the other group, she's always next to Dejon. They created their own cute little handshake. I loved that. The conversation about the holidays, I loved that. I thought it was the sweetest thing ever. I love how they seem to mind their business, and then at times they'll be observing everybody else and commenting on everybody else. I love them as a couple. The little date that Ben and Shakira had on the terrace, I like it that they're out of people's eyesight and they're trying to do their own thing, and I think Shakira is trying to avoid spectators. That way she can see if this guy is genuine or if he's wasting her time. And so I love that they arranged a little cutesy little date. They had chocolate covered strawberries when it was hot and you could see the chocolate melting. I don't know whether that was a good idea, but hey, if it works for them, it is what it is. You then had Alima go for a date. Well, she went on the trampoline with Ramel. Ramel, I want you to tell her what you told everybody else. Otherwise, when she finds out, she's going to freak out. I found their conversation quite sweet. I didn't realize that she was born in Portugal. Or she's from Portugal. I think she then grew up in Scotland. I love her. I love Portugal. I understand what she meant by, once you go there, you really love it. I love it. I wanted to ring in the new year there, but I couldn't because of work. But I love Portugal. I think it's one of the best places ever. Although I've been to Kuala Lumpur recently, and I think my money went a long way. So if you're planning on going on holiday, Kuala Lumpur might be on your list. Anyway, I digress. So then you had the islanders just hanging around having conversations. And Harry received a message that read, "Boys, clear your schedules and get ready to leave the villa. Hashtag bro time. Hashtag beers and bands." And it's like, oh, it's about to go down. Because the moment someone leaves the villa, you know that a bombshell is coming. There is never a time when someone leaves the villa and a bombshell doesn't come. And because the latest bombshells were guys, it's obvious it's a girl that's coming in. And I hope the boys are ready. After the boys leave, the girls, we don't really get to see them until they come out for their drinks. They come out for their drinks and they come out to a monitor like it's movie night. And they get to watch the boys on their date. The boys are having a great time. They start talking about their partners. And a couple of things stood out for me. I hope they also stood out for the girls. Because you had the guys talking about their coupling. I think Dejon gave a very good response. He was asked, "Are you missing Meg?" He said no. But also, I didn't expect to come in and, meet someone and have an instant connection. I think we're doing great. And you could tell he redeemed himself once he started speaking about that aspect of their relationship. Because Meg was taken aback when he said he didn't miss her. So to hear the things that he's noticing about his connection was amazing. The other thing that also stood out was the comments by, Ben said, he's happy he's finally in a couple with Shakira and he's hoping to peel back the layers because this is something he's wanted to do. So he can't wait to see what else he can discover about her. And I thought he must know that they're being filmed and that the girls are going to see this. Maybe this is why he's trying to say his P's and Q's. And then sadly, how you steal them is how you lose them. Because at the end of the day, when this woman was creeping out of the bedroom with Harry, she thought she had won. And for Harry to say he doesn't know whether she's just a good time or whether she's something serious. He said this all along. He said his conversations with Shakira were more substantial. He's with Helena didn't seem to go anywhere. So for him to say this is just a continuation. And hopefully this is a learning opportunity for Helena, because she thinks she won the prize. Now she's realizing that actually she didn't win the prize. It's just a matter of time before she loses head. Because he keeps saying he thinks there's unfinished business between him and Shakira, even though Shakira has moved on. So it's going to be interesting to see how she reacts once he starts moving mad, because he is going to move mad. I'm willing to put money on that. Connor said, he and Tony are not each other's type, but they are really just working to see if they can spark a connection there. And it's more or less like they're just keeping each other safe until their person comes in. And now with 3 bombshells coming in, the thing is Connor's head going to turn or not? Because we all know that she's not his type. With Tommy is I don't know. Tommy said, he's never really been in a relationship, and Meg is ticking all the boxes, and it's like he's saying what he feels he needs to hear, and he's trying to compliment her and make it seem like they're very secure. That way, Shay sort of takes a step back. I don't think he's feeling everything he's talked about, and I can't wait to see his reaction around the new Bombshells. So you had Romel said he's in a great place. I didn't quite catch what he said, but it was nothing really that stood out. So we get to meet 3 Bombshells. One of them is giving me Oma vibes. Malicia, she is giving me Oma vibes. They are pretty, but I think for me, Malicia stands out. The first one is Emily. She's 24. She's from South Wales. She says she works in insurance and she's a massive flirt. She looks cute. I think one of the boys' heads could turn because she seems to be sort of she looks similar to Shakira, but just a little downgrade from Shakira. That's my opinion. Malicia is stunning. She is 24. She's from Hertfordshire, and she says she's a sassy queen. She didn't tell us what she does for a living. Maybe she will tell the rest of the group. And then Yasmin, she is 24 from London. She's a bank executive, and she's a serial flirt, and she's the eye candy of her office. It's like, hey, if it works for you, amazeballs. So the guys get to meet the Bombshells, and you can see the excitement on some of their faces. You can see the excitement because they knew, if you've watched Love Island, you would have known that the guys going out would mean that a bombshell was coming. I think they were expecting 1, they were not expecting 3, and the 3 coming out, they're 3 different types of girls, so every guy is going to find something that they like about the girl. So the girls sat down with the guys, introduced themselves, and the guys were excited, and Meg started throwing her toys out of the pram. She wasn't having it. She really was furious. And the fact that Malicia sat next to Dejon just made things worse, because she could tell that Malicia appears to have her eye on Dejon. And Dejon seems interested because she's a stunning girl. Let's not lie about that. She is stunning. There's no two ways about it. So the girls introduced themselves and the guys really seem impressed. And then they asked the guys to talk about who they're in a couple with. I think Yasmin is a bit of, she's from London. What do you expect? She's going to stand her ground, and I think she's going to step on a couple of toes because she seemed the one who was more vocal. Malicia was a bit more reserved, and with the other one, Emily was very quiet. She seemed to sort of talk and communicate with Connor because she was right next to Connor, but she was a bit more quiet. So Connor spoke about his connections, said, they wouldn't be each other's type, but the more they get to know each other, the more they like each other. And then you had Yasmin ask, what's your type normally? And he said Emily, and it's like, oh my God. Poor Tony, she was biting her nails off because she knew that there was a chance she could lose this man. Next was Ben. Ben said he's with Shakira, but he's open to getting to know the girls, and he's okay with that. With poor Shay, he said he was open. He didn't have a partner at the moment, so he was open to getting to know the girls, and anything would go. Then came poor Dejon. Dejon said he was in a couple with Meg. Things were going very well, but he was open to getting to know people, and she should be open to getting to know people. And her jaw dropped on the floor because she could tell that there's something about this girl that this man really likes. So she's nervous because she's worried that, what if my partner's gone? I think she really likes Dejon. I don't think as viewers would actually seen that, but I think she really likes him. Harry said, he's in a very new couple. They've only just recoupled. So, there's space for him to get to know someone. And it's like, Harry is already done with Helena. The moment she spoke about the Eiffel Tower thingy, he was done. So it's really sad for Helena that she didn't try and explore Blue. And now there's a strong possibility that she could be the next person dumped out of the villa. Next up was... who was it? It was Romel. Romel spoke that, he's in a couple with Alima. He's getting to know her, but now he's getting to know the new girls. Alima didn't like that. She didn't like that. And it's like, well, he should have said, she was my number one coming in. And yes, things are going very well, but I'm open to getting to know you. But the way he said it, he made it seem like, he's done with Alima. He's now moving on to the Bombshells. Tommy is smitten. Tommy is smitten with Yasmin. You can see he's smitten. Yes, he's in his couple, but he's open to getting to know people. He said we are not tied down. And I wouldn't be surprised if his head turns and if suddenly Shay ends up with Meg because of the way things have gone. And I love the fact that the girls got to see what was happening. That way the guys don't come and sort of edit out what they've said. Especially Harry, because you could hear once the introductions were finished, you could hear Helena say, "Oh my God, I've really had the worst time, haven't I?" Anyway, the girls then decide to pick which boy to go for a chat with. And I think they picked the most controversial. Emily and Connor, it makes sense because Connor said she's his type. But then Dejon and Malicia, Meg was upset. Meg was upset. And then you had Yasmin pull Harry. Harry is like a kid in a candy store. Harry will do anything. Harry wants to be Turbo. That's the impression that I get. He wants to be Turbo. So hopefully he has an amazing time as he hopes he's going to have. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 4. Bye guys.